Hello PWL fans and welcome back for the 5th round of the Draft Retrospective series. We'll be taking a look at every team's last selection of the draft and give them a grade depending on how they played. If you haven't seen the first 4 retrospectives, I recommend watching at least the first 3 minutes of the first round retrospective, as there will be terms in this video you won't understand unless you've seen that video. With that warning out of the way, let's begin. Round 5, pick 25. Will Benyon. With their final pick, the Bethany Eagles selected power spiker Will Benyon, known for keeping on the pressure with his special bend-over spike hits and the famous retard strategy, invented and pioneered by himself. Benyon was a pretty inconsistent player. He either played at his worst, like scoring 11, 10, and 8 points in weeks 1, 4, and 5, or he played at his best, scoring 17 and 18, and his personal best 19 points on 4 eliminations in Week 6, Game 3, which included 2 second-place finishes and 1 match victory. Benyon finished the season with the 17th most points, scoring just under 14 points per game, but surprisingly, Benyon did finish top 10 in point percentage at 6th in the league. Taken in the 5th round is enough to consider Will Benyon as a steal. Round 5, pick 26, Spencer Jenkins. With their final pick, the Hillsborough Highlanders selected power spiker Spencer Jenkins, known as the lovable goofball. The older of the Jenkins brothers was a reliable and consistent complement to their number 1 throughout the season, scoring 19, 15, 15, and 14, and a personal best 21 points on 6 eliminations and 2 regicides in a game where he defeated Ryan Howman. Unfortunately, Jenkins' stats are hurt by him being a game behind after missing his Week 3 matchup, but he still finished 16th in the league in points and scoring a great just under 17 points per game, showing he was much better than his final placement. Jenkins' accolades are pretty strong too, with 3 third-place finishes, 1 second-place finish, and a match victory, finishing top 3 in all 5 of his games. Not to mention for the first 2 weeks before he missed his game, Spencer Jenkins was a 2-time top 10 player. Great marks here make him a steal here in the 5th round. Round 5, pick 27, Kane Edmonds. With their last pick, the Rose City Wreckers selected power serve specialist Kane Edmonds out of Ball So Hard University. Edmonds began the season stronger than almost anyone, having his best performance of the season Week 1, where he became the 2nd out of 4 players in the league to score 27 or more points in a game, where he scored 27 points on 12 eliminations and 4 regicides. He had another great performance the following week with 19 points, but outside of a 23-point redemption game in Week 6 that actually sealed the 2nd place position for the Wreckers, he was never the same player, scoring 11, 14, and 16 points between Weeks 3 and 5. Still, his accolades show that his play may have been more consistent than the points would show, as he finished top 10 in every stat in the league, 8th in points, regicides, and regicides per game, and 9th in just about everything else, including knockouts, adjusted points, points per game at just above 18, knockouts per game, adjusted points per game, point percentage, knockout percentage, and regicide percentage. In his 3 best games, he had 1 third-place finish and 2 match victories, and Edmonds was the Wreckers' main contributor while Ham was missing games, during that time becoming one of only 4 players to be a top 10 for every week of the season, being a 6-time top 10 player, 4-time top 5 player, and 2-time top 3 player. Finally, Edmonds was selected to Pro Bowl honors for his stats, making him an easy steal. Round 5, pick 28, Benno Xanthos. With their final pick, the champion Cedar Mill Shockwave selected balanced adapter Benno Xanthos. Xanthos' career was pretty weird. He missed both of his first 2 games before having an immediate impact in his best game of the season in Week 3, where he scored 24 points on 6 eliminations and 2 regicides. From there on, his play declined just slightly, but he had great points regardless of 18, 18, 16, and 15. Finishing the season 11th in scoring despite playing only 5 games. Xanthos finished 10th in points per game at just above 18, as well as 9th in regicides per game, and across his 5 games recorded 1 third-place finish, 1 second-place finish, and 1 match victory as well. His great stat sheet means despite missing a game, he was a steal! Round 5, pick 29, Spencer Dominguez. With their final pick, the Beaverton Ballers selected technique manipulator Spencer Dominguez, known for his signature hitting motion and ball spin. Dominguez was largely off and on the entire season, scoring 9 in Week 1, then 19 in Week 2, 10 in Week 3, and then 16 in Week 4, 8 in Week 5, and 14 in Week 6. You could expect a good performance from Spencer pretty much every other week. Dominguez's best game was in Week 2 when he scored 19 points on 5 eliminations and 2 regicides, but the best Dominguez moment is the iconic moment in his Week 6 game when he made the best save in PWL history through the legs. Dominguez finished 20th in the league in scoring with just under 13 points per game, and while he wasn't exactly a star, his low draft placement pretty much guarantees he's a steal. Round 5, pick 30. Caden Fairhurst. With the final pick of the draft, the Aloha Gladiators selected balanced court general Caden Fairhurst, now known by his better title, the GOAT. Fairhurst's season started off strong in Week 1, Game 2, when he simultaneously became the first of 4 players to score 27 or more points, and the first of 2 players to score 28 or more points, when he scored 28 points on 15 eliminations and 6 regicides. In his next game, he had the only perfect game of the season, becoming the first and only player to score a perfect 30 points, and one of 2 players to score 27 more points twice, and the only player to score 28 or more points twice, on a single-game record of 18 eliminations and also single-game record 7 regicides. Both of those single-game records he tied the very next week with 18 eliminations and 7 regicides more, as well as becoming the only player to score 28 or more points 3 times. For the rest of the season he slowed down, scoring 24 points in 3 straight games, in his last game coming 1 point short of earning his team second place with 15 eliminations and 5 regicides. Caden Fairhurst led the league in 9 of the 11 tracked stats, including most points, most eliminations, most regicides, most adjusted points per game at over 26, most eliminations per game, most regicides per game, most adjusted points per game, and most point percentage, as well as being third in elimination percentage and regicide percentage. Caden Fairhurst racked up eliminations and regicides at such an insane rate, his adjusted points per game, the stat that combines eliminations and regicides into your point total, is over 30. Caden Fairhurst was voted as the Aloha Gladiators team MVP and was selected to the Pro Bowl and All-Pro honors, and finally won by unanimous decision the PWL's League Most Valuable Player Award. But the accolades don't stop there. Fairhurst won every match he played in, recording 6 match victories. Along with Kane Edmonds, Ryan Howman, and Johnny Collier, Fairhurst was one of 4 players to be a 6-time top 10 player. Along with Ryan Howman, one of 2 to be a 6-time top 5 player. By himself, the only to be a 6-time top 3 player, and to go even further, the only player to be a 6-time number 1 ranked player, being first ranked all season long. Fairhurst, along with Tanner Jenkins and Jacob Ham, was one of 3 players to earn Player of the Week honors, where he was Player of the Week 3 times, with the 3 greatest single games of the entire season. Caden the King Fairhurst was the biggest steal of the draft. That's all 6 players. Perhaps due to being so low in the draft, we have a bit of an opposite effect of the first rounders, where everyone is a steal. The PWL Season 1 draft finalizes with 14 steals, 5 good picks, and 11 reaches. The best draft class of the season goes to the league champion Cedar Mill Shockwave with 3 steals, 2 good picks, and the only team without 1 or even 2 reaches. The third place Aloha Gladiators have the second-ranked draft class, with 3 steals and 2 reaches. The 5th place Hillsboro Highlanders, 2nd place Rose City Wreckers, and 4th place Beaverton Ballers all tied for the 3rd best class, with 2 steals, 1 good pick, and 2 reaches each. Finally, the Bethany Eagles had the worst draft class, with 2 steals and 3 reaches. That's it for the main draft, but wait just a while longer as we have one more retrospective dedicated for all the players who went undrafted, where the rules will be a little different. Until then, I'll see you all here next time on the PWL channel. See you then.